Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on today. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video on the algorithm, okay? So, like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those great things. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you so much. All of my old subscribers, all of my new subscribers, all of my future subscribers. I give you love and gratitude as you all show interest in this channel and subscribe, okay? Um, I wanted to talk about Black Youngster will be backdoored and take the downfall for Youngdolph's death. Will he? Okay. Um, now we all know, of course, y'all know I don't do a lot of vlogs on Black Youngster, but of course we know that Black Youngster has been his name has come up a great bit in this young doll situation. And he's been quiet, okay? When this first happened, we heard a lot of his name was in it. Of course, he went and did the assuming video down at the graveyard. Um, he threw out shots. He was doing quite a bit of stuff, you know. There were rumors in the street. Of course, his insurance agent came forward and made some claims about him being involved. Of course, his conversation, the insurance agent's conversation, was even um, recorded. And also, there were people that was on camera that also placed him on the scene. If nothing else, he was a passerby. A lot of people wanted to say that they felt like it was CEO TZ. It was Black Youngster. Okay. And so, we see that he will, of course, he went down to Dallas, and right after Youngdolph was killed, and he performed the song, of course, which is why you saw a lot of frustration grow Hero, because the wounds were still fresh. Young Dolph was not even cold in his grave. As a matter of fact, he had not even had his funeral when they put that video out. And a lot of people tend to have thought that Yogotti and them didn't know that Black Youngster was going to put that video out. But we know that Black Youngster, even though he has heavy count, he is still contractually obligated to CMG. He was then. I don't know what's going on now. And so he could not drop a video unless Yo Gotti had approved it. Now, there was a video that Black Youngster had put out, and it is alleged from people in the street that kind of have affiliations with CMG, that more than a man, I believe, video where he's riding around with in a car similar to Dolph, and he put a dollar bill on his $100 bill on his forehead and all of that. If I can find that, I'm told that Yo Gotti, because of the nature of the video, it is alleged that Yo Gotti, he was mad, he was a little upset at Yo Gotti because Yo Gotti told him that he could not, the first version, um, he could not put out more than a man, Black Youngster. Okay. I'm told, yeah, here it is right here. And when he was, everybody understood when he was showing the $100 bill, of course, and he put on his forehead, that was a disrespect to, alleged, it was a disrespect to Young Dolph. Y'all know I'm not in the street, so people in the street was saying this because Young Dolph called himself Paper Route Frank, right? So Gotti allowed that to stay in the video, and but there was some things I'm told that that he would not allow to stay in the video. Okay, such as I am told, it is alleged, okay, that he had a scene, allegedly, in that More Than a Man video that got it, some scenes that he had to reshoot where he walked into a pastry shop, something like a cookie shop, and then shots rang out, allegedly. And the person told me so long ago, I'm trying to remember. I do know supposedly he walked into a cookie shop or a cupcake shop or something like that, getting out of the vehicle that was similar to Dolph's that was in the video. And supposedly some shots rang out and he fell down and started making these allegedly like as if some people there were rumors about how there was video going around showing actually how Young Dolph, I don't know if it was true, was his body was, and I hate to say it, how his body was, how his body was, what his body was doing when the gunshots were going into his body, right? It has long been out that that video was out. I don't know how it got out. Um, uh, I'm told people were in close proximity recording, and maybe the people that was shooting him, they was up close. People don't know it. They was up close. They was able to see how his body was reacting as the bullets went into his body, and I'm told that's what was mimicked in that video. And Gotti made a executive decision that he had to go and reshoot a lot of those scenes, allegedly, because they was on the police, the feds was on them so close, right? And this is allegedly, but the person who told me this was the person that told me this is has people within that camp, and it is alleged that he has steal from people that was in the camp. It was like there was an obsession, supposedly, I don't know if it's true, there was an obsession where allegedly, I don't know if it's true, that the first thing, well, I'm not gonna say that, because I don't know if it's true. But he that was definitely an obsession, and he still, made little comments about allegedly, I bet that rapping ass nigga ain't gonna make another song and all of that. So, it was alleged with the insurance agent that is recorded, that the car was actually his, and there's some funny stuff going on with that. They don't say much about that, but I think, when I think all of that's gonna come out in court, because there were things that happened where the car was reported, stolen, and then come to find out the car wasn't stolen, and so you talk about over 1 million pages. I'll say allegedly, all of that stuff comes out in court. So that's why I say I feel like this case would be the case of the century with over 1 million pages. But so Black Youngster, he would go underground. We didn't see him, and the thing I have to say about Black Youngster is, even if people didn't like his music, he had a personality that kept people laughing. I think that's one of the reasons why, he was funny. When he went to the Breakfast Club, he was really funny. He had a quirky personality, and people were happy because Black Youngster came from South Memphis. Also, I grew up around his family. Definitely played with his mother and stuff when we were all little. She was about 3 years older than me. And because I was best friends with her cousin, her first cousin. And so we would all be at our auntie's house and stuff when she would be there spending the night. And he always reminded me of his mother as a little girl, especially his smile, Um, it just remembering that, but I had not seen her since I was about 12 years old. Okay. So I don't think that he understood that, like I remember when Gotti and when Snoop bands, I don't know why they were into it, but I think it was just the frustration of finding out more about Young Dolph had added Gotti and was going at Gotti. Black Youngster, I'm told that they had told him to just lay low, but whenever there was some beef or whatever, he would, it seems like, go back and get Black Youngster and put him out front, right? So I guess so that he could be on him. And I think what Black Youngster don't understand is, and this is what I believe, when they had him to let him put out that assuming video when they had him doing a lot of the stuff that they was doing, they was really backdooring him then. It was still, people were still very emotional. A lot of people was hurt, and so what happened was all of that negative energy was redirected to him, and all eyes were on him. They knew that people had wanted their get back. I always said that I felt like if Gotti had to backdoor anybody, it would never have been his brother. It would have always, if he had to choose, it would have been his brother and not Black Youngster. I said that from the very beginning, and I saw, and other people did too, police officers, that I know saw how he was being sent out and pushed out to the front so that the retaliatory situations, if there had to be any, because when people are hurt and they're angry and you're putting all of this stuff into the atmosphere, it would be directed at the person that was doing it. It's unfortunate that Black Youngster has so much loyalty, because you hear people say he always looked at, in the beginning, as God, at Gotti, as maybe a father figure, because of how Gotti took him from the trenches, and I know he came from nothing. He absolutely did, and he was able to. God had blessed them, and the thing about it is, I know that Black Youngster grew up with a God-like foundation, and because he had good people. His family, even whatever they were into, and I grew up around the older cousins before Youngster were even ever born. It's unfortunate in the streets of South Memphis. A lot of them, I remember attending a lot of funerals as a young girl and as a teenager with my best friend. Before he was ever even born, and them getting killed in Lemoyne Gardens, because they was from over there, from around Kansas, from around Macmillan and all of that. So a lot of them were being killed. And so because I was around them so much, I was attending the funeral with my best friend and her mother. So it's been a lot of misfortune in his family before he was ever even born. And so for him to be able to attain the wealth that he has attained, and unfortunately it came with a cross, because I think a lot of people that knows Youngster, I'm not saying his family, I'm just saying people that know him as Pig, they kind of might hold some type of disdain, because they felt like he was sought out to participate in this, you know um because they saw that he probably would do anything for Gotti, right? I was thinking about last year when I was looking at Player Cole's page, and Player Cole actually did a video saying that his, people that he that know, Youngster and them, said that Youngster was flipping out at one time, because his security had found where someone had secretly put a Apple AirTag on his car. Me working for the police department for so many years, the police didn't do that. The police don't have to put Apple AirTags on a car. That's not even something that they would do. The feds wouldn't do it either. They have their technology is way more advanced. That was a Negro, right? And so with Black Youngster living in a gated community and all of that, who would have wanted an Apple AirTag on his car? Who put it on his car? And I hear it is alleged, according to Blair Code, that they say he was flipping out because he probably knew that, right? So I do believe he may have known it, which is the reasons why I think at some point he did know it, which is why there was inward fighting and stuff like that. Um, that he was being put in a position where the energy could be redirected at him. If the score had to be settled, even in the early beginning, it would have been redirected at him. Do I believe he was involved? According to law enforcement, he was. You know, hey, I, I, this ain't me. What part he had, it's not for me to divulge. I don't know. I don't. According to the streets, he was allegedly. So, I do believe, like I said, Gotti was going to save his brother. I'm not saying he don't like Youngster, but I just believe that Black Youngster don't know, even though his position may have been a little higher than straight dropping them because he was signed. I mean, he was basically looked at and treated like them, just maybe a crash dummy or something, and so as people started to get arrested and go down, I don't think he would have been saved. I think he was already being thrown up under the bus. He just didn't know it. Okay. And so I think that is so unfortunate. I hate that so bad. Because I don't have anything against Youngster. And I think about um, you know, the naivety that he may have carried, the blind loyalty. Um, and I'm not trying to kick anybody while they're down. I'm not trying to kick Gotti while he's down, because I do have a lot of empathy for what they're going through, trust me. Um, but this never should have happened. Young Dolph didn't and Black Youngster did not have a beef. I just keep hearing Young Dolph say in interviews when they would ask him, "Listen, I ain't got no beef with Youngster. I don't even know him. This is between me and his boss. I don't even know him." And so I hate this happened. He said, hey, I like what he doing. I like what he doing. He from South Memphis like I am. I like what he doing. And so for this to be perpetuated consistently, and for Black youngsters to take on this hate, because when folks get through, I know his family, Dolph, Black youngster's brother, Tadarius, I think they call him TD, his death had nothing to do with Young Dolph at all. I know maybe that's what was told to the insurance agent. He was hearing secondhand situations. Sometimes people try and when they do things, they try and validate why they did it. Well, this is why I did that, but it had nothing to do with that, and I could tell you that for sure. So Young Dolph and them didn't do anything to his brother. That was a whole nother situation, right? I think if I had to guess why people gassed him up, when his brother was unfortunately killed in Miami. Um, I'm hearing because stop. I'm hearing that Youngster had thought, and I do believe that this is true, that they were making fun of his brother, okay, being killed. Allegedly, he felt like they were putting um, stuff, slick stuff on laughing emojis on Instagram, which they could have been putting laughing emojis about anything. But I'm told he was made to believe that it was about his brother, and maybe that's where a lot of that hate and stuff came from. But it still does not justify anything. But I always felt like he was gonna, they were going to, because they've been doing it the whole time. You know, a lot of other people have gone down too, but I always felt like that they were gonna he was gonna be backdoored. That if it had to be anybody as they get up to the top, and trust me, the top is the root of the issue. I always talk about the roots of a problem, right? Y'all know it's my favorite thing. I get the preaching when I talk about that. I always said that Black Youngster was not the root of this problem with Young Dolph. He was actually like a branch. Orange Mountain Quet was the branch of the tree. I would say Juke was probably the trunk of the tree, and straight dropping them were the limbs of the tree. Okay. Um, and we all know who the root of the tree was. It started with Young Dolph and Yogotti. That was the root of the problem, right? Um, and so when it started getting to the branches, we see straight dropping them were the limbs. They broke off quick. When it started getting to the branches and the trunk, it gets a little harder, but you definitely get into the root. And that's when you start seeing people getting backdoored. So that's how I feel about that. All right. That's just what I feel, you know. That he will be backdoored and take the downfall. That's what I feel. Juke was definitely, from my understanding, it was gonna at some point be indicted. Um, yeah. But anyways, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. That this is hey, this is my take on it. Okay. And it's a lot of facts in this, along with my opinion. Okay. And people start to get a little emotional. So um, you know, when you get to talking about stuff. But hey, I did say, anyways, everything in this video was allegedly. Okay, I'm not being accusatory, but I'm speaking facts based on I'm speaking things based on what I've been told. Also, I wasn't there. I wasn't there at the planning. I was not there when this happened. But there are people that I know that are working on getting to the root of the problem. That has a lot of, you don't get a million pages, and I don't know everything about the case. I don't know, but you don't get a million pages, um, and it's nothing, right? So just keep that in mind, okay? And when it starts getting to, you have to understand, when it starts getting to the root of the problem, I don't care how much a person loves you. Always remember this: they go into self-preservation. Their loyalty is going to always be to themselves first. Always remember that, okay? But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.